Hi everyone, I'm Edith, and this is the next episode of Digitalk interview series, our series where we explore the story behind the most innovative tech companies in Central and Eastern Europe. Today, my guest is Gábor Klement, CEO of Filtermax. Hi, Gábor.
Hi everyone.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you to you.
Before we dive deeper, let's start with a quick introduction. Could you briefly introduce Filtermax, your role in the company, and what you see as your main mission in the Hungarian cybersecurity landscape?
So we are almost 23 years old company. The Filtermax goal was mainly the IT security solutions, the softwares and hardwares in the earlier times. But in the last 5 years, when I got this position, we created an advisory team and the advisory pillar of the company. And we try to wide our services for the companies, for our customers. We are focusing only for the IT security, of course. We are following the trends and the new rules and the new solutions.
And building on that, you have been active in the IT security market for more than 2 decades. How has your focus evolved over time as the threat landscape and enterprise security capabilities have changed?
Many years ago, the main focus of the attackers was how could they steal data from the customers. After, how could they lock the system, steal data and blackmailing the customers. This was why the companies created quite heavy IT infrastructure, IT security infrastructure, and tried to keep out the hackers from the infrastructure. So the weakest point is the user, the employee, the user of a company. Not because previously it wasn't weak or not as strong as now, but the attacks focus mainly moved to user logins, as we can see.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also curious, as a security integrator and advisory partner, how do you approach building long-term security architectures instead of just implementing isolated tools?
Both methodology has positive and negative aspects too. So if you're implementing isolated tools, your dependency would be less. But if one of your tool has been compromised, a lot of data or a lot of part of the system could compromising, of course, and it means business continuity problems and so on. If you are creating separated security, it has a less chance, of course. And if you mix the solutions, you can build a stronger IT security infrastructure.
What led you to partner with Simulate? And from a technical perspective, what gap does continuous security validation fill in today's security programs?
Okay, so let's back again a bit in the time. Before the complex automatic vulnerability scan solutions, what happened? The companies every year or every second year or made a vulnerability scan or test from a vendor from outside, for example, or some expert from into the company. But if you are using a tool like Simulate, you could create this testing. You can create this vulnerability scan anytime in your company, and it's much more easier to recognize the gaps or those holes which can be used by hackers, for example, and they can steal your data or blackmailing you or something, some kind of malware. So that's why it's better then periodically vulnerability scan.
Let's move a bit more into the technology side. How does continuous security validation differ technically from traditional vulnerability scanning and periodic penetration testing?
As I mentioned, with the simulate, you can create this vulnerability scan anytime when you would like to do. And the simulate always try to keep their software up to date, and they are developing always the newest critical threats into the software. Just because if you recognize faster, you can your reaction could be faster, of course. And if you are doing once a year or once or twice a year, it will be a whole gap between the scans, and a lot of threats came out, and you cannot recognize everything, and it's harder to prepare your IT infrastructure to be safer.
And in your experience, where do you most often see the gap between how secure a company thinks it is and how resilient it actually is against real-world attack techniques?
Usually configuration which are not up to date, just leave them with no chance to recognize or stop an attack.
And from an architecture point of view, how can companies add security validation to their existing SOC, CM, or XDR environments without making things more complicated?
Mm-hmm. So the developers of Simulate also know this issue, and they know that a lot of companies using SOC or any automatic solutions. So they are focusing on that, and Simulate also good for that.
Okay, and one more thing. Many companies use a lot of different security tools. How can validation platforms help them decide where to invest based on real risks?
If you are creating periodically, continuously vulnerability scan, for example, for Simulate, you could see the gaps every time when it comes out, for example. You can create a priority list. You can check your risk analyst or something, and you could decide which gaps would you like to fix or not, or now or later. You can prioritize that.
Look at the broader landscape. What types of attack techniques are happening more frequently with your customers, and which are still underestimated by organizations?
The most popular attack forms is the phishing emails and the phishing attacks. As you can see, as the AI technologies are growing, these kind of attack methods much more sophisticated and quite hard to recognize them. The most underestimated risk also this part, because if the hackers could log in with a customer login details or with an employee who need the user details, they could do almost everything. For example, and if your defense focusing of the attacks which came outside only, then it's just a small part for that.
Looking ahead, AI is everywhere. How do you see AI shaping both offensive and defensive cybersecurity capabilities over the next 3 to 5 years?
As I mentioned, from the attack side, the AI using it's growing, of course, and much better than many years ago, of course, or before the AI. But the defense developers are also using this technology. So I think AI easily recognize AI too. So that's why I think so this will be the future.
And for my final question, with regulations like NIS2 increasing accountability, how can continuous validation help companies stay compliant while still focusing on real technical risks, not just ticking boxes?
I think the NIS2, not really, but a bit underestimated, I think, because those companies who didn't care about the security, whatever why, because of financial problems or because of the thinking. Those companies also have to focusing on the IT security too. And if you are using the NIS to in real part and not only for the checkbox audit or something, then your IT infrastructure could be safer, and your production could be safer. Your business continuity could be safer. So I think it's not a bad thing.
Okay, that's great note to finish on. Thank you very much, Gábor.
Thank you.
For the great conversation, and I wish you and your whole team a lot of success with upcoming projects. And if you are curious to learn more about this topic, don't forget to sign in the Digitalk Summit. The registration link in the description.
Thank you.